That analogy of, if you're in a plane and the plane is crashing and the oxygen mask comes down, to put your own mask on first before putting someone else's, is something that we actually regularly use in these conversations. Again, people are motivated from a sense of, from a selfless desire to look after and care for the people that they love. And the instinct, it's honestly, it's quite a hopeful thing about people, that the first instinct is usually to provide that unconditional care for another person. A woman reached out, she was about 58, looking for support for herself and her son. She was quite concerned about her son's problematic gambling behaviour. The situation for her had been compounded by the fact that about 12 months before reaching out to speak to us, her mother had passed away and had left her a sizable portion of her estate. Her son had already been gambling at this time and was already partially dependent on her for financial support, which she was struggling with a year before she called. Once her son found out about the inheritance that she'd received, he then became much more persistent and much more consistent in seeking ever-increasing amounts of financial support from her. At the time when this client reached out to speak to us, she had very little of that money left. It was almost entirely spent on paying for his rent, paying food, but most importantly, had been funding, his gambling behaviour. He, at the time, was almost completely dependent upon her, and inside that dynamic, she was concerned that if she stopped paying him the money that she was giving him every week, that he would threaten to end his life or hurt himself or become very aggressive with her. Helping someone who's engaged in that does not mean helping them with anything at all times, and under no circumstances being able to say no. It's about making sure you're helping yourself in the first instance. We aim to be there, really quickly to pick up the phone and speak to people who are needing it. And we understand that sometimes these situations are really stressful and really tense in the moment. And sometimes people just need someone to talk to who can understand what they're going through.